Hi, I know I did a reply to this, but I figured it'd be better if like I did a video reply because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering this after seeing like our family holiday videos and like our diets have changed a little bit from what we were doing. So I just thought maybe like an explanation video would be better. I should preface this by saying I might not read the comments because I do try to shield myself from certain topics that I know people have a lot of input on. And as a lot of you know, my weight is something I've struggled with my entire life. I overcame a really significant ED, and so I just try to be really careful about reading, advice and comments, even if they're well-natured about, things we eat, which people aren't trying to be mean. My whole page is like, basically like, look what we bought at the grocery store, and oh, I'm trying this new food, you know what I mean? So like, I can't be mad that people like, are wondering things like that. It's just human nature. But I just thought I'd explain. So I have lost like a significant amount of weight. My heaviest I think was in 2022. As an adult anyways. When I was younger, I actually weighed more than that. So I ended up going to my first physical since 2011. And I found out that not only was my liver inflamed, I already had known that I had liver issues on and off, but also I was pre-diabetic, so that really freaked me the hell out, you know what I mean? And I wanted to get my shit together and, stop certain habits. For a year straight, over a year, I reduced my sugar intake by about probably over 95%. Almost everything I consumed was pretty much sugar-free. I haven't eaten red meat in over a year, which for some people might not be a big deal, but I love red meat and I ate copious amounts of it. I watched my fat intake, carb intake. The only thing I didn't do, which was a huge mistake, is that I didn't watch portions at all. I would show off these dinners that my husband made that were beautiful, healthy. However, I would have a plate stacked like this high, as you guys would see. Well, I had my follow-up appointment and I was so excited to get my A1C checked. I thought for sure I've lost like, 45 pounds, like it's gonna go down. I was so excited. I prepared myself like, okay, it might stay the same and don't get discouraged if that happens. I knew I'd be pissed if that happened, but I was just trying to like, be prepared. Well, I got it checked and it went up. My A1C went up. I lost 45 pounds, cut out like almost all sugar, and then I also cut out red meat. I watched my like carbs, fat, and my A1C went up. Not only that, but another thing that really grinded my frickin' gears. I know when you have a smile like mine, I love my smile even though I'm missing teeth. I think it's contagious and I love it. However, I know when people see like smiles like mine, they think, oh, you must not take care of your teeth, blah, blah, blah. Not only do I take care of my teeth, I have great dental insurance. I have an awesome dentist. During the beginning of the year, I would tell myself, it's okay if your A1C doesn't go down right away because, hey, your teeth will be in better shape. You're not going to be eating sugar. That's a plus. I lost two, actually, I think 3 teeth that year. 3. Now, I shouldn't blame that on, I'm sure that has to do with the fact that back when I did have a really bad ED, I'm sure it impacted my bone density. I got diagnosed with arthritis when I was like 26 years old, so I'm sure like it's not all about, it was just a coincidence, but I just thought, ain't that some shit? Anyways, I knew that I was gonna have to like face a reality when my A1C went up, is that, I can cut out whatever I want. I can make these rash decisions of like, oh, I'm never going to eat this again. I'm never going to do this again. And I'm never going to have this again. But really, I had to face a word that I've always been very scared of. And that is moderation. I hate that word. I absolutely hate it. Because I've heard it my whole life. Well, you just have to eat in moderation, or even other things, you know what I mean? Because I'm obviously, like, you can tell by looking at me, like, I am just kind of a loud looking person, and like, people have always tried to teach me how to live in a gray area and just do things in moderation, and I've always hated that term because it makes me nervous. It makes my skin crawl because I just don't get it. When I was growing up, and like my friends who didn't have problems with their weight would have like really good food on their plate, and they just would eat some until they were satisfied and leave the rest on their plate. Like, I didn't get that. Like, I didn't understand, like, how can you leave good food on your plate? Like, it's amazing food. Like, how can you leave it there and not eat it? Like, I didn't get it, because even if I felt sick, I was still going to eat what was on my plate. And I was doing that, for the past year. Even though it was healthy food, I was still really overeating to the point where I didn't feel good. And that's because I have a food addiction, and I've talked about it on here before, you know? And you've seen me try to combat it in several different ways, and I'm just trying to, like, find the right path for me. Everybody is different. But lately, I've just really been trying to be mindful. Like, for instance, when you see my family go out and I get something that's probably, like, really high in fat or something, I eat a small portion. And that's why in, like, the beginning of my going out to eat videos and stuff, I would say, oh, this is what I'm taking home. Oh, I'm going to eat this later. Because I just felt like it's kind of irresponsible because I've spoken about my liver issues and my health issues and stuff. I didn't want people to think that I was out like eating copious amounts of really greasy fried food and stuff all at once, because I don't know, I just feel like that's kind of irresponsible. So that's why I was doing that, you know. I probably won't always be like, oh, this is what I'm taking home, because I also shouldn't have to like nitpick things that much, but that is why I was doing that, because I have been really portioning my food, and I'm so proud of myself, because that's something that, I know it sounds stupid, but it's very scary to me. Like, that's so stupid, I know, but it makes me nervous. Like, I don't know, I think for me, like, I'm sure, like, you know, I know there's some people who didn't have access to a lot of food when they were growing up, and that's why they eat everything on their plate and they feel like they can't save things. For me, I was put on diets at a very young age. I really wasn't that overweight as a kid, but I still was put on like diet after diet, and I had stuff restricted. So I think for me, that's where that mentality comes from. Like, you know, like, oh my God, I need to eat this now, because if I don't, I'm not going to get it again. So now, like, I'm very mindful. I take myself through, like, you know, I'm satisfied right now, but if I want more later, I can have it. Half the time I don't even eat it, but just knowing that, like, it's there, and like, you know, I'm saying it's okay. Like, you know, I don't need to like mouth face and eat all of this right now, you know what I mean? I feel sort of like it's been a healthier approach. I've been doing well. Like, I try not to weigh myself a lot, because like, because of my past, I can get really like fixated on stuff like that. But when I did weigh myself, it was after the holidays, and I'm like, this might be a bad idea. But I lost more weight. So it must be working. I'm still trying to incorporate nutritious foods, and yeah, I think I'm just, you know, I'm just living life as I can and trying what I can, and this is something that I knew I was gonna have to face eventually, learning how to approach things in a more moderate manner. And yeah, so if you see my videos and you see me say, like, you know, oh, this is what I'm taking home, I'm not trying to be like, I don't want people to get the wrong idea and think I'm being like, you know, oh, look how much I'm saving and I'm not eating all this food. But it's just like, I don't want to promote an irresponsible image that, like, oh, I have health issues and I'm gonna sit here and down like an entire plate of like, right, because that's not what I do. I might have like one or two things and I save the rest. So I'm just trying to be responsible. But thank you for your question. Oh, and just as a before and after, because I love the lounge pants I'm in. I love them. Hold on. I had to come in here to show you, because um, my room's messy. But yeah, I look pretty good. I mean, you know what I mean?